All right, loves, I popped up again. This time we're going to be doing intro. And I want to go over some of the things we discussed yesterday, such as learning style. Every individual has their own style for anything and everything. Their style in clothes, their style in boyfriends, their style in cars, their style in furniture, the type of furniture they like in their home, okay? Learning style is the way a person perceives, thinks about it, they think that's how it went, or processes information and new material. Learning, it's new material, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you one thing that's very important, and this goes not only for intro, but for pre-med, but for the rest of your life. The difference between hearing and listening. There is a vast difference. And you're going to go, oh, Miss, oh, no, no. Oh, but my Miss Kenya, Miss Tia, and Miss Makia. Oh, yes, there is. There's a big difference. Hearing is you're cooking in the kitchen, no, you're doing something, and you got music playing in the background. You're hearing it. You're not really paying attention to it, but you're hearing it. Listening is not only hearing what is being said, but how it is being said. Let me give you a little example. Okay, you have a friend. You've never been to her house, and tonight you have to go pick her up because y'all are going to go out on a girls' night out, okay? And she gives you her address. Never been there. And you leave your house, you got the radio on, and you're listening to your favorite, whatever it is, and it's kind of loud, and you're listening, and you get on her street, and you're looking at the numbers. What's one of the first things you're going to do when you start doing that? You're going to turn the radio down. Now, let me ask you something. Does that have anything to do with your vision? No, it doesn't. But you were hearing, you weren't concentrating. You need to listen and look with your eyes. So when an instructor says something, it's not just, yeah, okay, I heard it, but how did they, no, I don't mean say it like in a belligerent way or a mean way, but like, is this going to be important for the rest of your career? Yeah, you bet your sweet Bippy it is, all right? And I know you think I'm all staying Bippy, but I am. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. People have learning styles that vary, and you have got to figure out what is your learning style. Remember, there's four stages of learning styles. I can't even look. There's 4 stages of learning styles, all right? Stage 1, they're hands-on. They want to do it, all right? That's almost me. Stage 2, they enjoy learning. Stage 3, they experiment with ideas, all right? And stage 4, they find out what other areas of their life they can use this in. But the learning style is how you process information. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. Your study time. You should make sure that you do your studying during your peak performance time. Now, for some people, they can get up, or they can have it, let's say you have a test tomorrow, and they don't study it tonight. But tomorrow morning, they'll get up at 5 o'clock and study and do well on the test. That's their peak performance. Me, I don't even want to sit at the same table with my husband because he talks. I gotta have it quiet, okay? I'm realizing that the older I get, it's got to be quiet in the morning. So everybody has different styles of doing everything. Reflection. That's considering new information. You're thinking about new information and learning a way to create new ways to exchange that information. In other words, you may not want to repeat it just like the person said it to you, so you can put it in your own words. But you want to make sure you keep the main focus or the main idea the same, all right? All right. Processing. That's the way we internalize or take in new information and make it our own. That's how we do it. It's called processing. Now, perceiving is the way a person looks at information and sees it as real. I perceive, I just, how you say, I could have sworn I saw that. You perceived it, all right? You thought it was real, but not really, all right? It's called perceiving or perception. Professional behavior. This is actions that identify a medical or dental assistant as a member of the healthcare profession. They are dependable. They are respectful. They have a positive attitude and teamwork. Now, let me tell you something. As far as learning from me, you can take that book home and pretty much learn all the body parts on your own. What I want to teach you is not only what's in that book, that is body parts, all right, and intro. I want to teach you professionalism. So where you, because I don't want anybody to come around and say, who was your instructor? Miss O. Oh, no, I don't want them to come back to me and say, what did you teach them? That's not how I like it. That's not how I roll, all right? Okay, empathy. Remember, don't get it mixed up with sympathy. Empathy is being sensitive to an individual's needs. Sympathy is you have sorrow for someone. Someone just lost a family member, okay? And you have my sympathies. Empathy, now it can relate to that if you've lost the same type family member, all right? Not only do you have sympathy, but then you also have empathy. I know how you feel. I went through the same thing a few years ago. I know what it's like, all right? Critical thinking. This is considering all aspects, 360 degrees, all aspects of a situation and deciding what to do. You don't go off half-cocked. You don't hear half the story and say, I gotta go. No, I gotta go and handle this. Hear everything first, all right? That's what it is. Triage. Triage is prioritizing patients. So the most urgent receive care first. But let me tell you something. We may not call it triage in our lives, but you have to prioritize your life too. I mean, what one of the first things you're going to do in the morning? Let's see, it's the woulda, coulda, shoulda. Well, let's see. I've got to get the kids up. I've got to get them dressed and fed and ready for school. I've got to take them to school. Then I have to go to the store. Or would it be, let's see, I get up early in the morning, I go to the store, leave the kids home. They'll take care of themselves. They're little, but don't worry about it. And then I have to go drop the groceries off at a friend's house. And no, you have to prioritize. What is the most important first at that time, all right? Okay, and again, study time is at during your peak performance time. This helps you be more organized in time management. And ladies, it's you that's running that office. Oh, it may be the dentist that's doing the professional procedures and the surgical procedures and the dental procedures, but you run that office. And like I said yesterday, if you find yourself having to stay until when your office closes at 4 and you're still there at 5:30, 6 o'clock, that's your fault. Not only your fault, and also the person that books the appointments, all right? I did it once and only once, and I learned my lesson. Doctor was very, very nice about it. Stupid scheduled, stupid as me, stupid scheduled a new patient. Our office closed at 5. I scheduled them for 4:30. Oh no, now it makes sense, but back, well, we were there until about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I mean, the doctor was very, very, very nice, and I was grateful for that. They could have chewed me a new one, but I was very grateful. So make sure you let the person know that's doing appointments. Usually doctors want to see new patients either first thing in the morning or the first appointment after lunch. And by the way, you're blessed. You get a lunch. You can put the phone on voicemail and lock the office door for an hour, and you have lunch. And people will hear, I'm sorry, our office is closed from 1:12 to 1 for lunch. Please call us back. If it's an emergency, call 911. Lunch, what was that? Lunch was you took a bite and you ran back, took a bite and ran. That was lunch, all right? So, look, like I said, if it weren't for my generation, your generation wouldn't have it quite as easy. Critical thinking, that is sorting out conflicting information. You heard from Jane that the car accident happened Sunday. You heard from Julie the car accident happened Tuesday. Two conflicting stories, two different stories, all right? What you have to do is weigh your own knowledge about the information. Well, if it was an accident, you really don't have any information. You have to decide on your beliefs or your actions. What should you do? Sort out the conflicting information, but don't incorporate your own personal beliefs. And whatever you do, don't go back to the person that was wrong or incorrect, with the, I told you that. No, that gets you nowhere. You ever heard the expression, you can get more flies with sugar than you can with vinegar? And it's true, okay? All right, assertive communication. Here we go. We're going to assert. This allows you to express yourself honestly, to be honest. And it allows you to stand up for yourself without, this is the important part, that should have been all caps, without an emotional scene. You start getting emotional and all of your credibility goes out the window. I'm not going to listen to another thing that person says because they can't speak in an intelligent form. You think getting louder, getting nastier is going to solve anything. No. First off, it takes two people to argue. And if only one of you is doing it, that one looks kind of silly, all right? So assertive communication, you can express yourself, but you don't have to have an emotional scene accompanying it. A dentist has the initials DDS behind their name, Doctor of Dental Science. They can also have an DMD, a Doctor of Medicine in Dentistry. It's the same thing. And I know when I was working for the oral surgeon, he used to hate it that people thought he was just a dentist because he didn't do fillings and he didn't do things, cleanings and things like that. People came to us that needed major surgery. I mean, big stuff. We gave IV sedation, and if somebody was in a car accident, you got called out in the middle of the night because they needed maxillo and facial surgery, all right? And it used to just tick him off that they thought he was just a dentist. Nothing wrong with being just a dentist. Anyway, teamwork. Oh, here we go. It's pulling together. Think about if you've ever seen the program where they got two horses pulling a wagon. If one horse sits down, how far is that wagon going to go? Not very far, all right? But what happens is you pull together, and it's not saying, that ain't my job, that's not my job. If you're employed there, it's your job. If you want to keep your job. Now, like I'm telling you, like I said yesterday, do not become a doormat. That is not what I'm telling you. Do not let people walk on you. Use your assertive communication without making an emotional scene, but you've got to pull together with teamwork. Demeanor, that's the professional behavior that patients can trust with confidence. Your demeanor, she's such a nice lady, she's always smiling, and whenever I call to make an appointment, she goes out of her way to really try and help me. She has a very nice personality or a very nice demeanor, all right? Now, I've seen people be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, out in public there, sugar wouldn't melt in their mouth. You let them close that front door to the house and they become Godzilla, all right? That's not good either. All right, problem with central issues. Here's a central issue. The first step to reach a solution to a problem or conflict is identify the problem or central issue, not all the periphery, not all the stuff that's around it, okay, the periphery. You gotta go for what the real issue is. We gotta find out what's going on. Look, you're gonna have patients that sometimes they have to sit, they have an appointment time. Their appointment time is 1 o'clock. And here it is, a little after 2, and they're still sitting out in the waiting room waiting. You're gonna start having some people start rustling around, all right? And you can forget the emotional scene. They're gonna make it, all right? You have a patient that is angry. They're upset. What you want to do if they're getting loud in the waiting room, what you want to do is remove them from the waiting room. And I do not mean reach out through the glass window and grab them and pull them through by the neck. No. Bring them to the back. And the best thing you can do, bring them to the back where, everybody else is okay. Listen. Did you hear what I said? Listen. Let them get it off of their chest. It's not personal, ladies. It's not personally against you. It's the patient is upset because they may be in pain and they've made an appointment and they're still waiting an hour and 10 minutes after their appointment time. But sometimes doctors have emergencies. And what you can do is acknowledge this. And you can open a little glass and let them know the doctor is running a little bit late. However, if you would like to stay, I will make sure you see the doctor today. Or if you would like to reschedule, I will help you reschedule it at the earliest convenience for an appointment, all right? But you stay calm. If you go ballistic, they're already ballistic. It's gonna be out of this world, all right? So that's what we're doing. All right, a chiropractor. Chiropractor, guess what? They treat bones, they treat joints, and the nervous system because those are all tied in, all right? They have college plus 3 to 4 years of chiropractor school, the same as an osteopath. An osteopath is a chiropractor is DC behind their name, Doctor of Chiropractic. An osteopath is DO, Doctor of Osteopathy, okay? And these people more like do the holistic type, the osteopath. Not all of them, a lot of them just do regular, normal, everyday medicine, all right? But that's the osteopath. A hospitalist. Now, this is just in the last 15 years, this title even came to be. And that is a real physician, a real medical doctor that focuses on patients in the hospital. They don't go to an office at all. They don't have office hours, all right? But they can refer the patient to a primary care physician that does have office hours. But a hospitalist, like I told you, I was in the hospital waiting for my doctor to make rounds. And this strange guy comes in and I'm like, starts talking about my issue, and I'm like, who are you? I mean, it'd been nice if they introduced themselves. Who are you and what are you doing here? And that's when I first heard the term hospitalist, which is not bad, but I'm old and set in my ways, and I really wanted to see my own doctor, but it works out. A physician's assistant. Now, this is somebody that has to have at least a master's degree. They can practice medicine under the supervision of a physician or licensed doctor, all right? And they can write prescriptions in most states. Now, my oldest grandson, Zach, just graduated a couple of years ago from ULL with a bachelor's in nursing. What he wants to do is become a nurse practitioner. And he's got to have so many years experience before he can even go back to school to become a nurse practitioner. But nurse practitioners, they're more and more popular. And you see them sometimes out in rural areas. You may see them in cities, all right? They may work in doctor's offices, but they can have their own practice. They can practice medicine. It's a nurse practitioner. Now, remember, the letters capital DMD or DDS are the credentials of a dentist. All right. Okay, your assets for professionalism, not assets, but your assets. First one is good attitude. You only get one chance to make a good impression. And if you blow it, forget it. I don't care how many thank you letters you write after your interview. It ain't gonna happen, all right? You cooperate with your coworkers. Now, do you have to be in love with all of them? Do you have to be best friends with all of them? No, but you have to have a good attitude and cooperate and work with them. Believe me, it'll make your day go a lot smoother. They help to complete something that somebody else may need help doing. Look, I'm running a little bit late, and I know we got to restock room 3. Do you think you could help me with it? All right. Now, they're not asking you to completely do it, but could you help me with it? Of course. But like I said, do not become a doormat. That's not what I'm telling you to do. You always speak in even, calm tones. Even when everybody else is losing their head, you keep calm. It's not always easy. Oh, you want to blow up too. Look, what I'm telling you is the ideal way, all right? Another thing I want to tell you, when the patient comes in and they sign in at the desk and you move that glass and you scratch their name off and close the glass, ladies, that glass ain't silent. It's not soundproof. And when you turn around to your coworker and go, oh no, guess who's here? The guess who can hear it, all right? So zip it, all right. You're something that can obstruct you at work. You bring your personal baggage with you. You know, everything that happened at home, you bring it to work with you. It can't happen. Yes, we're human, but we have to be superhuman, all right? Number one, we're ladies, which means we have to be super duper human. And number two, we're working in a field where, look, if you're absent from work a day in the healthcare field, it's not like you're working with file folders where the next day when you come back, they'll just be stacked a little bit higher. You're dealing with people with real issues. You can't stack people in a corner and tell them to wait till tomorrow when you come back, all right? The grapevine and the rumor mill. Don't participate in either because you're going to come out the loser. I'm telling you right now, you do it for the first time, just that little bitty bit. Look, see that little bit? That little bitty bit. And it's going to come back and bite you on the butt. That's the way it happens, all right? Personal phone calls at work. Oh, no, 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 no. Checking your emails at work. Texting at work. No, they're not paying you to do that. And you think we tell you you can't use cell phones in the classroom. Look, to me, going to school right now is your job. And that's why I try to have you do things in the classroom as if you were already on the job, all right? Always wear your name tag. Make sure you have that on. And treat externship as a job. Treat it as a probationary period of a job. I told you, I've seen people get hired on externs. And appearance, you need clean hair. And it usually has to be off of your shoulders because of health reasons, all right? No colored nail polish, forget that. No long nails, it's infection control. Jewelry, wear a plain ring if you have to wear anything, and a watch. And prioritizing, that's when you decide what's the most important, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and stop here for today. I hope this has helped you at all, any. And what I want you to do is go over your notes again, all right? Go over maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs and then take a break. And then come back and go over those few paragraphs and then add a few new ones. Take a break. Come back, go over everything you've studied and add the last part. I'm telling you, it helps and it works. Not for all people, but it worked for me, all right? Okay, my loves, don't forget, work on your virtual library for pre-med and your flip cards. Both of them are due Monday, July the 20th, okay? All right, loves, y'all have a good afternoon, and I'm going to try and get this uploaded, downloaded, side-loaded, so I can text it to you, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.